Things. Yeah, right. Would be.
It was.
I was right first time.
Difficilus would just be difficult.
Yeah.
But if it was diculima, it would be a superlative. It was.
Oh, correct. It would be the most difficult thing.
It would be the most difficult thing to
absidere, I don't know.
To something the caput. What do you reckon that?
To decapitate the
there
gorgon.
There we go. To decapitate to cut off the
head of the gorgon.
The head of the gargon. So it was a very difficult res, as in the res public thing.
Yeah,
It was a very difficult thing. Superlative. So we've got here the superlative ending. It was a difficult thing to. What do we call that? Kind of word to cut off is an.
To cut off is an infinitive.
It's an infinitive. Good. It was a very difficult thing to cut off the head of a gorgon.
Of the gorgon, which is in the genitive.
Very well done. Good. So it was a very difficult thing to cut off the head of a gorgon. Good. So, enim, 4. Now you just need to think of your knowledge of gorgons.
Right.
For homines, what's that going to be?
Men.
For men. Good. Verte bantor. Think of.
Verte bantor.
They were being.
Men were being brave.
So think of I'm trying to think of the transversing something. You are
crossing.
So I cross. Yeah, I cross. Literally, I'm turned into. So for people.
Oh, for people to be turned into stone.
So for people were turned into stone by their conspectu,
by their vision.
By their vision, by their sight. Very good. For people were being turned into. So were being turned into, active or passive? Do we think, Mr Stephenson? Active or passive? Were being.
Where being is definitely passive.
Passive, absolutely right. So this is after how many years?
42.
42 years. Good. So for people.
No, I tell a lie. 46.
46 years. Good. So people were turned into rock by their sight, by the sight of them. Good. Propter. Think of legal terminology on it. What would you think that would be?
Propter, as in propitious?
No, not so much.
No.
It would be like I'm trying to think of different ways. Propter, sort of there. I think there's legal terminology, sort of on account of something. On account of this.
All right.
On account of
that.
Yeah. This.
On account of this.
This causa, like the English word.
Cause.
Cause. On account of this cause, this reason.
Minerva.
Good. Dederat comes from do, which is like dat is the dative when you're giving something to, like, or doing something for. So do is I give. So that's
is it really?
It
right.
Is, yeah.
Give.
That's like donation and stuff.
Right.
Like that.
Okay. Gave.
On account of this reason, gave. Actually, had given.
Had given.
Had given. Now this is a speculum, and do you know what a speculum would be? Probably get spectacles from there. It's to do with vision.
Given.
What might you need to do? Do you remember what he needed to cut off without looking but still seeing?
Give a mirror.
Gave a mirror. There we go. Gave a mirror
to Perseus.
To Perseus. Do you remember what case Perseus was in?
To Perseus would be ablative.
Would it? Giving something to, doing something for. It's the do. It's the
dative.
Dative. There we go. So he'd given. This is actually easily. This is like GCSE standard. Honestly, this is GCSE standard. So on account of this reason, Minerva. Do you remember what Minerva was the goddess of?
No.
Athena. It's the Roman name for Athena.
Ah, right.
Athena was the goddess of
still struggling.
Odysseus. She was the patron goddess of Odysseus because Odysseus was so good at thinking. Wisdom. Wisdom.
Right. Wisdom.
So, on account of this reason, Minerva had given Perseus a mirror. Il, so that's like il in French.
Yeah, he.
Igitur. Therefore.
Oh, is it therefore?
Therefore, yeah, I can't think of any English word.
Therefore,
vertit, turned his tergum. Might be that. If you turned
his side.
Turned his back, maybe. He therefore turned his back. Seeing as you've been okay with your cases, what case do you think that is in? Bearing in mind it ends with an M. He turned his back. It's the object of the sentence.
It's object, therefore it is. Accusative.
Accusative, very good. So he turned his back and he inspicio, think of the English word, and he, like, inspecting.
Inspected.
Yeah, and he inspected. And he looked at her.
And he looked at, yeah. Inspected is really pretty loose, isn't it? You need to use better English.
Yes, okay. So he looked at her in speculum.
In the mirror.
In the mirror, yeah.
Yep.
Hoc modo. As in mode, in this
in this fashion.
In this fashion, He venit.
He came to the place where Medusa was sleeping.
Very good indeed. So he came to the place where Medusa was sleeping. Tum sua caput falce eos uno ictu abscidit. Then, now falce you won't necessarily know that, and that's going to be sickle. So it's
all right.
Then with his
sickle.
Do you know what case that's in? With, by, with, or from?
By, with, or from is ablative.
Is ablative. Good. So with his sickle, he abscidit. We had that earlier on.
Abscidit.
We had that there, didn't we?
Oh,
it was difficult to something the head of a gorgon.
Oh, to decapitate.
To decapitate, to cut off. So then with his sickle, he
cut off the head.
Her head.
With one swoop.
You have the ictus, don't you, in the phrase? With one. You have it in poetry, don't you? I think you've got it. With one swoop was fine.
With one swoop.
Okay. With one slice.
With one swipe. With
one stroke. Swipe. One stroke. Yeah. Ceterai, think of etc.
Etc.
And
the other.
And the others. So
the other gorgons.
Good. Her sisters. Statin.
Statim. Immediately.
Immediately. Very good. Excito is as in excite. I wake up. So they were
awakened from their
slumber. And ubi when.
And when they saw
the rem.
Such things.
When they saw the thing, they. Commotai sunt, where you get commotion, they were.
They became very angry.
Yeah, they were moved by anger. Commotai sunt, active or passive? They were moved.
Yep.
So what's that, active or passive?
Passive.
Passive. Good. They were moved by anger. They rapuerunt arma. Think of the rape of the lock kind of. What are you doing? What's he doing with the lock? He's taking on top. Obviously, where you get the unfortunate word rape from. Rapuo is like rape of the lock when he cuts it off and takes it. So they
right. They ravished.
No. It's just as in
they sliced. They sliced.
Rapio as I take, as in.
Oh, is it really? All right. Okay.
Like the rape of the lock with.
Okay.
Okay.
So they took the weapons.
Yeah, their weapons, and
they threw.
Volo can mean I fly, but volo also where you get volunteer from. It's wanting.
All right. Okay. They wanted
occidere.
Occidere. I'm thinking Occident. I'm thinking no. What, the West?
No.
Not the.
Although that would come from there, probably Occident, because it would be from the West, as in the West to do with setting of the sun, literally the killing of the sun. Occido is
right. Okay.
It's even though Latin has a very small vocabulary like French, it's got lots of words for killing.
Right.
Lots of words for killing and lots of words for sex, because they were very violent and they were massive.
Okay.
So they were wanting to occidere.
They wanted to kill him.
Perseus, well done.
They wanted to kill Perseus.
As we said before, like il, he, autem. However, dum fugit, while he
was fleeing.
While he was fleeing, he induit. Induo was it's a difficult word. It's obviously something on, and induo it's literally to put on. He
put on a magic
galleum
gown.
Might be gown. Very good. I don't know how you knew that. He put on a magic gown, a magic cloak, and when he fec, it comes from facial, where you get factors from, and something like that.
When he sliced, when he manufactured, when he made.
When he manufactured, I make or I do. So it's when he.
Okay, right. When he did this.
When he did this,
he immediately.
Yep.
Is that to evade?
Yep. He evaded. Literally disappeared
from sight.
Their sight.
From their sight.
Very well done. And the psychological message of this must be that I suppose when you've got the monsters there, that our monsters actually exist. Would they exist in our minds because of, if we can see them, if we can visualise them ahead of them happening, like with a mirror, then it makes them less frightening. We can defeat them. Is that psychologically plausible?
Psychologically sound.
Psychologically sound. Excellent. And we're done.